All right, we'll now move on to the next problem in AS16. X Limited began construction of a new building on 1st of Jan X1. It obtained rupees 1 lakh special loan to finance the construction of the building on 1st of Jan X1 at an interest rate of 10%. This is a specific borrower. The company's other outstanding two non-specific loans are rupees 5 lakhs at 11%, 9 lakhs at 13%. This is a generic borrower. The expenditures that were made on the building project were as follows. January, you have spent 2 lakhs. April, you have spent 2,50,000. July, you have spent 4,50,000. December, you have spent 1,20,000. If you add up everything, you will have 10,20,000, right? 2 plus 2.5 plus 4.5 plus 1.2. The total amount spent on the project is 10,20,000, which anyway will be taken to the building account. Building was completed on by 31st of December X1. Following the principles of AS16, calculate the amount of interest to be capitalized and pass one journal entry for capitalizing the cost and the borrowing cost. We know the cost, it is 10,20,000. But what is the borrowing cost or the interest cost which needs to be capitalized along with the cost of the building? That is important, right? You have spent 10,20,000, that will be capitalized. But what is the interest cost which needs to be added? That we need to find out. Okay. To find out that, we need to actually find out the weighted average amount of expenses. You see that various amounts were spent at various points of time. So we are going, and this will be a combination of both the generic loans as well as the specific borrowings. So first working note is to find out what is the weighted average amount of the expenses which we are actually spent. What is the weighted average? So January we have spent 2 lakhs. So that money is in use for 12 months. April you have spent 2,50,000. So 9 months. 4,50,000 you spent in July, so that's around 6 months, and 1,20,000 you spent in December. That's actually 1 month. So if you do that working computation of weighted average expenses, if you do that kind of a working first, you'll get 2 lakhs into 12 by 12, 2,50,000 into 9 by 12, 4,50,000 into 6 by 12, 1,20,000 into 1 by 12. Effectively, it is 622,500. Right? This is the weighted average expenses which is spent. And this has got a combination of both the generic borrowings as well as the specific borrowings. That's the first thing. The second working note is we need to find out one interest rate to handle this non-specific loans, because you've got two loans, one at 11%, other at 13%. So we need to have one consolidated rate for that, which is the capitalization rate. So we can find out the weighted average rate, 5 lakhs into 11%, 9 lakhs into 13%. If you do that, you'll have 55,000 and lakh and 17,000. So if you can find out 172 by 14 lakhs, you will get 12.285%. That is the total rate. That is the one weighted average rate for the generic borrowings. So once we know, right, what is the weighted average amount of expenses and what is the weighted average interest rate to tackle the generic loans, we can actually find out what is the interest rate to be capitalized. Specific borrowings, it's 1 lakh. On the 10%, it's 10,000. For the generic borrowings, it is around 522,500. That's the average amount spent. 522,500 into 12.285. How did I get this 522,500? The total amount is 622,500. Right? That is important. So how did I get that money? How did I get that 522,500? It's very important. Out of 622,500, which is the weighted average amount spent, I am reducing the 1 lakh, which is on account of the specific loans. So balance is going to be 522,500. I am going to apply 12.285% on that, and that will give me 64,189. So if I add up these two, I will get 74,189. That's the total interest to be capitalized. So if you want to have one separate entry, I'd say building to bank, right? The total amount spent is 10,20,000 plus 74,189. So it will be 10,94,189. Right? 10,20,000. Cost of building is 10,20,000 plus the amount of interest to be capitalized is 74,189. So it's going to be 10,94,189. So the entry is building account debit to bank 10,94,189. Okay, pretty straightforward answer, but it requires 5 working notes for this. Okay, hope it's clear.